Bilkis here, everybody. Welcome to my channel. I welcome you all. If you are a returning subscriber, I say a big thank you to you. Now, if you are a new subscriber, I'll say a big thank you to you too, and I welcome you all. Now, before I proceed, I will advise all of us, I will employ us to please go and subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to this channel and then hit the notification button. Then like this video, give a comment so that I will know. You can share your thoughts with me via the comment section. All right. Now, last lesson we talked about finding common, we talked about finding the lowest or the least common multiples of numbers, and then we established the fact that there's actually the difference between multiples, common multiples, and the lowest common multiple. Do you understand? All right. So basically, basically today we are now going to fractions and what percentages. All right. So we describe quantities with both whole numbers and fractions. What are quantities? Quantities are just the things that we use for to know the quantity or the sizes of various things. Do you understand? If I say 2 now, for instance, 2, I can say 2 bags, 2 shoes. Now those shoes are quantity, and I'm using these 2 to quantify them, to know their size, to know the number they are. Now this 2 is a whole number. Do you understand? Or I can say 2 oranges. But the moment I cut the oranges, this is what? This is 2 oranges, and 2 is what? Whole numbers. Why? Because I didn't break any of this orange at all. But if I cut the orange into 2 halves like this, it becomes fraction. That means this side is now what? Is now half. This one is now half. Meaning that this one is what? Meaning that this side is what? Half. It's not up to a whole number anymore. It's now what? It's in what? Fraction. Because 1/2 is what? Fraction. 1/2 means when you have something, a whole number, you divide a whole number into 2, now take one portion out of it. That is what is 1/2, that is what half. Now look at this figure that I have here. It's divided into 3 portions, 1, 2, 3. And then this shaded portion is what? 1/3. 1/3 means the whole of that thing is divided into 3 portions. And then you take one portion out of it. You can say to me, I can make it 2/3. It could be 2/3. Do you understand? If it is 2/3, it means I'm taking 2 portions out of the 3 portions. That's why I have 2/3. Does that make sense? So basically, all numbers are numbers that you're not dividing them at all, while the fractions are the one that you are dividing. The fractions are what? They are not that you are dividing. They are not that they are not whole number. They are just, fractions are just like a part. Fractions are just used to describe a part of a whole thing. Now you can see that this fraction, this 2 is just describing a part. There's 2 parts out of this whole. Do you understand? Just like one part, when I cover, if it is only this one I shade now, that means this fraction here, 1/3. That means this is just describing one part out of these 3 portions. Does that make sense? But this whole number here, this whole number 2 is describing these 2 oranges. No division, nothing. I hope you understand. Now let's look at the following example to see, so that we can understand better. All right. So you can see that we describe quantities in both words, all numbers or what? Fractions. Now, but before we proceed to any examples to see how we want to solve any example using this, we want to look at the common terms that we use in this topic. Fractions to what? To describe quantities generally. So a whole number we use it to quantify something that is whole, that is full, that we did not cut, that we did not divide. While we use fraction for something that is what? That is divided, something that we cut. Do you understand? And usually fractions are not in any way up to what? 1. All right. Now before we move on to examples that we can solve to understand this, excuse me, I want us to see through all these common terms that we use in fractions and percentages. Now, common or proper fraction. Common or proper fraction means a fraction like this, where you have the numerator to be a smaller number, and then the denominator, the number that is down, to be what? Bigger number. Do you understand? Anytime you have a smaller number up and a bigger number down, it means it is a common or proper fraction. Now, a mixed fraction, therefore, a mixed fraction on the other hand, is a mixture of both whole numbers and a fraction. You can see that this 4 is a whole number because it is standing on its own. While this 2/3, this 2/3 is what? Is a fraction. So when you mix whole number and fraction together, you have what? You have a mixed fraction. All right. Now the improper fraction on the other hand is what? When you have a bigger number up and a smaller number down. Do you understand? When you have a bigger number up and a smaller number down, you have what? It is called improper fraction, because in a layman's term, improper means when something smaller is actually carrying something that is very, very big, so it becomes what? Improper, so to speak. Alright. Now, a numerator, therefore, is a number that is what? Up. If you have a fraction, in any fraction, either proper or improper or mixed or not, the number that is up is what? Is called the numerator. While the number that is down is called what? Denominator. Now, go back and watch this video as many times as possible and understand each of these terms, what they denote, so that subsequent example that we are going to be looking at can be easier for you while you walk through them. Alright, let's look at the following examples then.